Jesus, I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back, no turning back. The world behind me, the cross before me, leaving this world behind me, reaching for the cross before me, the world behind me, the cross before me, no turning back, no turning back. Oh Lord, no turning back. I can't turn back. No, 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 no turning back. No turning back. No. 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 Said I'm not turning back. Not turning back, no, 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 no. Come too far, can't turn back. Come too far, every day brand new mercies I see. Come too far, can't turn back. Come too far. And I'm not turning back. Said I'm not turning back. Said you won't put more on me than I can bear. No, no, no. Oh, I ain't going back, Jesus. You can trust me, you can trust me. I ain't going back. No, 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 no. If it cost me everything I got, everything. If it cost me everything you gave me, not turning back. May have to lose some friends, but I'm not turning back. 'Cause what a friend I found in you, Jesus. I'm not turning back. What a friend I have in you, Jesus. I'm not turning back. Bruised, battered, and scorned, go, let go. Let go, let go.
Come on, make some noise up in this house tonight. Come on, come on, come on, make some noise up in here. With God I can. Come on. Come on, somebody say it. With God I can. Oh, yeah, say it. Come on, I can move mountains. Nothing's too hard because I got God in my life. Anybody believe that tonight? Nothing's too hard for you. Yes, you have God in here. Here we go. Nothing's too hard. Yes, I have God. Nothing's too hard. Yes, I have God. Nothing's too hard. Yes, I have God. I need somebody to say with God. Can somebody else say with God? Oh yeah, with God. Just the sopranos with God. What my alto say with God. Come on to the with God. Everyone know with God. I can do anything. I can go anywhere. Nothing can stop me. Nothing can block me. I got the Lord.
Good afternoon. Praise the Lord on this day the Lord has made, and we are rejoicing and we are glad about it. Again, good day. Hope all is well with you and your family. Let me first thank you so much for your prayers and congratulations that you extended to me and my family upon Mackenzie's graduation, magna cum laude at Howard University. And we are grateful to God. We are thankful to you. You have supported her since day one. And again, we returned home this morning, in fact, around 6:30 a.m. So it's been a long last few 24 hours, but God has strengthened us. He brought all of those families, loved ones, and friends who attended her graduation, though it was virtually, but again, we are grateful. And so God brought all of the families home, and we're grateful and thankful for that. So again, thank you so much for your support, your prayers, and missed you on Sunday, but I also tuned in. We tuned in from D.C. But again, thank you so much, and we are back. We are back to continue our study on how valuable, how important, how essential time is in every capacity, in every category, in every way. Every season of our lives is equally important. And so we've been talking about that over the last 4 or 5 weeks. But let me, before I begin that, thank God for a tremendous congregation who supports, who invests, and who's a part of the Total Life program. So thank you so much, Mount Olive, again, for your being here today. And again, thank you also for your support of my being away. And yet business continues as usual, as it should. So grateful for the admin team, grateful for the leaders I have who stand with me, and you, the congregation, who support everything that the church does. Let's continue to protect others as we're protecting ourselves. And a strange thing happens when we're looking out for others. We, in turn, are being looked after and over. So let's continue to wash our hands. Let's continue to mask up. Let's continue to practice social distancing. Let's get vaccinated. Again, a lot of exciting information is coming from the CDC, but let's not drop the mic, so to speak, in terms of just let everything fall by the wayside. No, we're not going to do that. Let's stay vigilant. Let's maintain our resolve to get through this. God is going to get us through here, but let's do everything that we can. Well, hopefully you have handouts. You've already downloaded them. Thank you again, admin and media team, for making it available. Let's begin with today's session. Again, we've been talking about this for the last 4 or 5 weeks. This is, in fact, session 5. 5 hours of talking about why we should postpone procrastination now, why we can do it, how we can do it. We've been talking about that, and so today we want to continue our discussion. Yesterday is gone forever. Let's take a look at this first category. Some of you probably read it. We use it as the excerpt of today's lesson on social media platforms. Have you ever wished you could get back just a small piece of yesterday? If you could just get it back. But of course, we know we cannot get it back. If we could, perhaps we'd want to speak to someone about a matter that we should have, but we didn't. There was someone we perhaps could have extended a thank you. We didn't do it then, but in hindsight, we know we should have. And then there was somebody perhaps we should have apologized to, but we didn't. And again, all of us, I'm sure, as we look back over our lives, there were some things we should have done that we didn't. And again, maybe some small gesture, but we didn't take advantage of it. And of course, yesterday is history. It's done. It's in the history books. It's gone forever. And I came across this quote. Media, they're going to put it up for you. It talks about 3 things you cannot recover in life. You'll see it there. You can't recover the moment after its midst. Cannot recover the word after it's said. Cannot recover the time after it's wasted. And so I'm sure if we could just get back just a moment, but we can't. And so that's the importance of seizing the moment, taking care of as much as we can now, because we know we have now. We don't know about tomorrow, and we know yesterday is history. And so what we do have, however, is now. And here's this second category. Here's another reason why we need to do what we need to do now, is because we really don't know about tomorrow. We just don't know. Now, tomorrow will be somebody's tomorrow. It may be ours or it may not. It may be somebody else's, may not be ours. It may be ours, it may not be someone else's. We just don't know. Tomorrow is uncertain. In terms of, we don't know for sure whether we will be here tomorrow. We just don't know. And again, as James says, we make plans. Look here, look at this list. Some of us, we're saying, well, I'll just pay the bills tomorrow. Well, you may not be here tomorrow. Or I may take that trip tomorrow. Or I may make this phone call tomorrow. Or I may write the book tomorrow. Again, sometimes we spend time making plans without uncertainty. I mean, we plan as though it's a done deal, but we really don't know. You see that statement of summation that you cannot be fully certain such things will be available tomorrow. They'll be available for some people, but it will not be available for all people. So here again, the importance of us postponing procrastination now. Let's make sure we do it. Well, this next category, Jonathan Edwards, great preacher, talked about what he resolved. He even made this covenant with himself, and you have it there. And here's just a reminder that the moment is now. Jonathan Edwards, he made this covenant. He said, number one, I will resolve to live with all my might while I do live. That is to say, Jonathan Edwards said, I'm gonna give it my all while I have all to give. I'm not going to hold back. I'm not going to save myself. Nope. I'm going to give everything I have while I have it to give. Think about, how much energy many of us have wasted over the years. We for whatever reason, we did not put it all on the altar, or we did not leave it on the field, so to speak. But he says, while I have this life, I'm going to give my all. His second resolve, I resolve never to lose one moment of time. He's not sitting around counting time, but he's making the time he has count. And we've been talking about this any number of times. Never to lose one moment of time. You think about the time we have with our kids, think about the time we have with other relatives, time we have with our spouses, time we have with friends, time we have as a congregation. Think about that. I mean, the times that you and I enjoyed as pastor and people, and we wish we could get that back. I mean, all the services, the Bible studies, just all of those different gatherings we had, and we could just get back one. I mean, all of that we have, and again, God, I believe God will allow us to in some way return, but again, we have to make sure that if we in any way squandered that time that we had, we could have been here, but we chose not to be here. Then we were here. We were not all here. We were, came out of obligation or came out of duty. We did not come as a result of our devotion and our love to God. We're just kind of wasting time. But now here we are, and hopefully this sovereign rest that in some way we have experienced, I hope it has caused us to really look within ourselves deeply about the importance of time and to maximize the time that we have. Here, he says, never to lose one moment of time. But then he goes on and says, I resolve to improve my use of time in the most profitable way I possibly can. We've alluded to that to some degree already. Make it count. Be productive. Bear fruit. You remember that hourglass? Time is just constantly moving. And if we don't move with it, we're not going to slow it down. It will leave us. And so we don't want to be guilty of wasting it. So we want to make it profitable. We're talking about legacy. We're talking about our testimony. We're talking about our witness. We want to be known as good stewards of time, and that we maximize the moment. We did everything we could. When we get to heaven, we want to be on E, because we didn't store up anything. We left it all here. We are exhausted because we gave our all. We're exhilarated also because we gave it all to the one who has given us all. But we're exhausted at the same time because we left it here. Every day we gave our best. And so that's what Epworth was saying here. And then lastly, I resolve never to do anything I wouldn't do if it were the last hour of my life. What a statement. He's basically just saying, listen, I want to make it count. I want it to be righteous. You look at what Paul was talking about. If anything is trustworthy, virtuous. He goes down there. He tells us to think on those things, and not only just think in terms of that being a part of our life's experience. It's part of our action. These are the deeds that we perform. And here again, Edward says, never to do anything I wouldn't do if it were the last hour of my life. Because we don't know when that last hour is going to come. And so we want to be found as faithful what? Servants. So that we will hear the master say, well done, good and faithful servant. Listen to this statement of summation. When God speaks, the moment is what? Now. His timetable and planning are perfect and not for our personal convenience. Okay. It's all about his story. History. His story, as someone has said. God is always up to what God has always been up to, and that is history playing itself out, his story, the perfect will of God, that thy kingdom come, thy will be done on the earth, in the earth, as it is being done in heaven. And so that is what God has always been up to. His timetable. God has a timeline. It's complete. You can't change it. I can't change it. We can't edit it. We can't say, okay, God, I need you to pause it just for a moment. Let me catch my breath. It is not the case. It is not for our personal convenience. But it can be used for his glory and for the good of others, and then we will benefit from it. Well, let's get to that confrontational question, number 5. But let me read. Let's go ahead, media, and put up the James text. Let's go ahead and look at this passage. And this is what we've mentioned this text before, but we need to hear it again because it's like a laser beam today. It's zero in on how we really need to understand that tomorrow is uncertain. Today is certain, but not tomorrow. And so why make plans as though we know tomorrow is certain when it is uncertain. But we do know today is certain, so let's do it today. Listen to what James says. Let me get there also. James chapter 3. And again, we're always making plans, as we should. You know, somebody said that they hope that in this pandemic, it has also been a pandemic. That we've taken a look at our lives. We've taken a look at our stewardship. We've taken a look at our discipleship. We've taken a look at our fellowship. We've taken a look at our worship. And we're trying to get a sense of in what way have we grown closer to God during this pandemic? Have we made plans to get closer to Him? Have we made plans to be better stewards of ourselves, our resources, and our service? Have we dug deeper as it relates to His Word? Are we stronger disciples now? How have we become more disciplined as disciples during this pandemic? What is our worship like? Is it more intense? Is there a greater hunger and thirst for God during this pandemic? What type of planning have we been doing in this particular season? What about it? So listen to what James has to say. James chapter 4, verses 13 and 14. Come now, you who say, today or tomorrow we will go into such a town and spend a year there and trade and make a profit. Verse 14, yet you do not know what tomorrow will bring. What is your life? You are a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes. Let me keep reading. Instead, you ought to say, if the Lord wills, we will live and do this or that. It's uncertain, but we do have today. So let me raise this question. Or what unfinished business do you have? Think about that just for a moment. What unfinished business do you have? Are you counting on the next day to do it? The next week, the next month, the next year. Here again, that's not ours to claim. The future is not ours to claim in terms of life down here. It's in the hands of God. And once you and I die, there's nothing else for us to do that will impact, affect, change this life. That's it. And so what business have you and I left undone that we continue to say, well, I'll get to it tomorrow. I'll get to it next week. I'll get to it next month. I'll get to it next year. Again, it could be a phone call. It could be handling some family business. It could be writing a letter. It could be completing some task. It could be extending an apology, on and on and on. What is it? What business have you and I left undone? And we're saying we're just going to put it off. I want to encourage you to do whatever you can while you can. All we have is now, so let's maximize this moment. Let's milk this moment for everything that we can. And if we get tomorrow, praise God, and we'll try it all over again. We'll try to maximize tomorrow. But today is Tuesday. We're not thinking about maximizing Wednesday. We're thinking about maximizing Tuesday. And if the Lord allows and we're here Wednesday, we will maximize Wednesday. And we're not going to wait till Thursday to do something Thursday that we can do on a Wednesday. Again, take it one day at a time. That's what we really have, is one day at a time. So here's that challenge. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Do we have any questions today? All righty. Well, God bless you, family. Thank you so much for, again, your commitment. And then, as always, we're blessed to have friends of the family, congregation who continue to study with us at noon on Tuesday and again Wednesday, and then even join us first thing on Thursday mornings during the prayer call. So thank you so much, and you are welcome. We hope and pray that your time with us has been half the blessing, the delight that it has been for us. We love you, praying for you, and want you to do the same for us. I think Minister Music, Reverend Allen, has a little music going to play for us, and then we'll continue to live out the rest of the day as best we can, trusting in God. God bless you. Take care.